Mi familia, welcome back to this your favorite channel, Mexico Real Estate Insider. Today we have a new series called Real Estate Talks, and we're going to talk about the best zones in Mexico City to live like the 1% on a low budget. So let's move. Joey, my friend, how are you?
I'm very good. And you, my friend?
Perfect, my friend. Let's talk about this topic, how to live like the 1%, and of course the zones within Mexico City. So tell me about your style. What do you think is the best zones to live in Mexico City, like the 1%?
Perfect. That's a very good question. In this atomic city, Mexico City has so much to offer. You have many cities within the cities. And as you well said, it's in terms of personality, no? And we have different offers. For me, in my opinion, I enjoy a more midtown or centric zone like Condesa, La Roma, La Juarez, which is close to downtown. Everything is in walking distance. You don't really need a car. You can find local public transportation, or even you can rent a bike, which is very practical. And I love those zones because you can find so many experiences in terms of you can walk to a park, you can find an amazing variety of restaurants, and I enjoy sports, so there's a lot of places where you can enjoy a sport experience in terms of watching a game or figuring out looking for a game night. And in terms of music, for me, there's a very interesting local offer where you can find independent concerts in different venues on those zones and without even using a car.
Okay, so for you the important thing is like having everything close, walking distance, human collisions also. So I think in those kind of zones, you know your neighbor, you talk to the guy of the newspaper, and then you know the guy of the coffee shop. So it's very familiar.
Exactly.
No? It's like a very warm zone.
Exactly, and I think it's a sense of community. I enjoy that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's get down to pen and paper. What's the prices on those kind of properties in those kind of zones? Condesa, Juarez. I know it's different. I know Condesa, it's, for example, a little bit more expensive than Juarez, but tell me like parametric.
Like a range. Specifically in those zones, you can find like amazing buildings with historical value, which you'll find expensive. Maybe you'll find apartments in the range of easily from 4 million
pesos.
4 million pesos up to 10 million pesos.
That it's more about like $200,000 until
exactly
600,000, 700,000.
That's right. That's a good range. And it's a hot, trendy zone. So you'll find a lot of new projects. You'll find different proposals in terms of lofts, one bedrooms, a couple of bedrooms. I don't sense it's like a family zone. It's more in terms of young people community, no kids and more pets.
Okay. And I think also it has a lot of vibe like digital nomad zone. No?
Exactly.
I see a lot of people working on their laptops on Starbucks or the local coffee shop or whatever, but I don't see those many families on that zone.
Exactly. That's definitely like digital nomads. It's the place to be.
Okay, perfect. So for you, that's your perfect zone.
What about you, my friend?
I'm a little bit different. I think I like a little bit more on the suburb kind of vibe. Maybe a zone that it's a little bit far away from downtown, because I really appreciate silence. I appreciate having a lot of lonely places. For example, I don't like to go being on a very busy coffee shop and make a big line. I like to go to the local coffee shop on a different kind of zone and be the first guy there. So I really appreciate that. But of course, the downside of this type of zones is you need a car. You have to drive everywhere you want. If you have like a midnight thirst and you want to go for club soda, you don't go down the street. You have to go in the car and go to the supermarket and go and buy your club soda. So for me, the best zones in Mexico on my style are Santa Fe, Bosques de las Lomas, maybe, I don't know, it's an expensive zone, but Las Lomas, but I think more on the west side of the city, it's amazing. And the price range is very likely because you can find like very good places down in Condesa. But for example, in Santa Fe, for a one bedroom, maybe you can find a one bedroom starting in 200,000 to 20, but you can also find a 3 bedroom on over $1 million in Santa Fe. So we have a wide range. And Santa Fe, you can find more of a family vibe, or Bosques de las Lomas, because you have great schools. No? For example, you have great universities like Tec de Monterrey or Ibero or Anáhuac, and you have also great schools for families, elementary school, high school. For example, we went and we met on elementary school in Peterson, that it's a very international school, it's a great school, and it's really near Bosques de las Lomas. So city is very big, my friend. You can find whatever you want, but those are the best zones for us to live here.
And it's a great life quality in those suburbs, no? You can find another different type of sense of community, more familial-wise, but definitely you can find ambitious projects, no? In terms of commercial spaces that compete with the best commercial buildings in the world.
Talking about, for example, shopping or dining or whatever, really, I think Mexico City is right on the top. You can find the same kind of projects than in New York, Miami, Berlin, Madrid, whatever. Mexico is really on the top scale in the world.
Definitely. So what about today? Where will you go to have a breakfast or a coffee in terms of those zones?
Let me tell you something. Let's invite those guys to have lunch with us. Typical Mexican food. But if you want to see what are we having for lunch, don't miss next video. Are you in?
Let's do it.